Perez. Wilco makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello, dear listener and viewer, and welcome to a Bergkamp Wonderland, the place where Karl made his name before he reached the heady heights of being on TalkSport as a guest. Just a guest? At least a guest presenter there. That's not all right, is it? You're just a guest. You went on there, you swooned around, you told him what's what.
Give it time. Today, a guest, tomorrow, a presenter. The next day, have my own show, then my own radio channel. Like it's different. I'm different now. I'm different for me now.
You're wearing
like Chelsea going to put in a bid for me for like 200 million. We'll see if I can negotiate terms.
Yeah. Oh, sounds wonderful. Are you going to let any of ABW come on your show?
I mean, for a fee. I mean, this ain't free, Danny. Like, clearly, I need to have, make some money. When I start selling like advertising space, like on Twitter,
got the merch on the go.
Obviously, like I've got Chris putting me out some tops. Like, so we're getting there.
So, if you had to ban one person from ABW for ever coming on your new show, who was the person that you're going to ban?
Ellis. Fuck Ellis. Hashtag fuck Ellis. Oh, can I say that? Yeah, I can. Fuck it. Yes, hashtag fuck Ellis, because he is he's a good boy, but he's a prick. So, we are where we are.
Good. Sounds about right. Let's say hello to some of the people that have decided to join us this wonderful Saturday afternoon. After as Karl says, he's watched 3 games today and they've all been atrocious. First of all is Paul Nell, not Neil. Oi, oi. Go Birds. I don't know. Maybe he's been attacked by birds. Who knows? Sai is there, straight in with the Mudryk out. Sai, we didn't sign him, so you're going to have to change that to the Belgian. The Belgian Arshavin has our Josh has branded him. Phil Macker, evening. Jim Eves, evening. Oh, Michael is there. Hello, Michael. Rudy Rastos was there. We had the fake Rudy in here recently. Rudy, the other RUDI, and you might need to go and sort him out, because we can't have 2 Rudys. It gets confusing. Arnie Arneson is there. I bet you're very cold. It is minus 2.7 degrees in my sitting room window. No, my bedroom window. My sitting room window is only minus 2.2 degrees. What's that about? I mean, they're only about 5 meters apart. Anyway, I think it's all my hot air leaking from the sitting room and going out and making the window warm. Phil says, Karl wearing the ABW. Bergie! Oi! Oh, for fuck's sake, my cat's being sick. Wait there a second.
Oh, God. I'll take over. Saying hello to Phil Macker. Phil Macker says he needs cheering up as he's suffering from Bell's palsy. Oh, that's not very good. Nice, Phil. We've been to the doctor or the hospital. Hope you feel better very, very soon.
Oh, that's a bit weird. He's got that. And my cat Bergie, he's a gobbler. And he eats the cat biscuits so quickly, he then goes to puke them up. And luckily, people, his puke was 1 or 2 biscuits, I think, and they've just landed on the floor. So, because then if no one comes around for 3 or 4 days, Karl, I have to sit in a sitting room with cat puke. Not very nice.
So basically, what we're needing, who is the closest to you out of everyone?
Ellis.
So basically, Ellis.
Actually, no, John. John's only.
Yeah, but he's in Scotland, isn't he? He's diddling the women of Scotland.
He's had all the ones in England.
Exactly. So he's now gone up north to diddle all the women up there. So Ellis basically needs to come around and clean up your cat sick, and I'm for it. I'm here for it. I'm actually here.
I remember the days where you would have done that before you'd reached the heady heights of your own.
Danny, I'm different now. I told you, Danny. Like when I get my assistant, like I might send my assistant round, but until then, like it's different. Oh gosh.
Loki is there, Rudy is there, and Phil says I was rushed to A&E. Why are people always rushed? When a little story here, I broke my leg with my car once. I was Yeah, I fell over, and as I fell over in my car, I crashed it. I did doing 15 mile an hour, wrote it off, broke my leg, and I'm in the ambulance, and I rang Sean and her mum, and I went, "Oh, I'm being driven slowly to hospital." They said, "Why are you being driven slowly?" I said, "Because I get fed up of people being said I was rushed to hospital," and I said to them, "Could we go the long way round?" And they just looked at me as if I was some kind of idiot. So they weren't far wrong, were
right.
they?
Yes, they were absolutely spot on, I would say.
Yes. People are saying hello to. Keysby Knight is there. The Premier League writers were saving all the goals for this week and for tomorrow. I'm feeling an 8-2. Right, should we go and have a look and see what channel it is on, Karl? If you want to go and watch it, people, and you are in the UK or you've got a decent IPTV, it will be on Sky Go, Sky Go Extra, Sky Sports Main Event, Sky Sports Premier League, and it is also live on Radio 5 Live. Pick a country, Karl, and I'll tell you what channel it's on.
Jamaica.
I knew you were going to say that. It is on csport.tv. There you go.
Lovely.
I've been doing that for about 5 years now, and never once has anyone gone, "Oh, thanks for that." Yes. Injury table. We've got Jesus is out. A quote from 6 days ago. We've already done that one. He might. Hopefully, we'll have Gabriel back in for the final months. It was a serious injury, a bit longer than we expected. He's going to do everything he can to make it shorter, but we'll miss him for a while. El Neni is out with a knock and been linked to a transfer to Trabzonspor. His manager, when he was at what club was he play for? Besiktas. That manager is now at my club, Trabzonspor in Turkey, that are current champions and not doing very well. And he's been linked with them. Reece Nelson still out of an injury. And then, is that the BBC? More work coming in.
Oh, Sky Sport. Oh, fuck it. It's Sky Sports.
They want you for transfer deadline day.
Yeah, but I think I'm busy that day anyway, so you know.
Dear, oh dear. Luckily, Karl has already got a top of the range. I'm a footballer car, so when they pull up in that, he won't look out of place. If I turned up in my VW Chiran with my private plate saying GFP on it, I think they shoved me out with a broom handle. Thunder Road is there telling you lot to get the thumbs up. Lovely. Loki says, "How about Magnolia, Danny? Mongolians need Arsenal." They do. Yes, they do. Question from Phil: did Josh slate our new signing? What was his exact words, Karl, when he said if anyone mentions the Belgian Arshavin in our group, what was he going to do to us?
I was going to kill us, wasn't he, or something like that?
He was going to cancel us. We're not allowed. We don't want him. He doesn't like him. He doesn't rate him. He said most of the time he does bugger all, and then all of a sudden, biff bash bosh, he'll turn up and he'll do something. He said it's not. But they're getting 21 million for a bloke. Wikipedia have changed the way their website looks, and I don't like it. Has he got looking for? Here I go. Leandro Trossard. He was 28 on the 4th of December this season. Karl, do you know how many goals he's got this season?
7
in 16 games. And I looked at them.
And 2 assists.
He's a pretty decent player. For 21 million for a player that can do that. He loves to run down the wings, and then he cuts in, shimmy shammy, passes it, scores both feet. Looks decent. Nice centre of gravity.
I think for someone who's not going to start, like someone who's going to be, let's be honest, he's not going to start ahead of Saka, and he's not going to start ahead of Martinelli. So I think for a backup, I think he's brilliant. Brilliant buy. He can also probably play up front as well. So someone can play in 3 positions, 20, 21, 27. I'm sorry, it's 21 million, and then rises to 27 depending on
when we win the league.
Yeah, I think it's good, especially got someone with a little bit of age as well, a little bit of experience, so he can come on. He's someone who I think will definitely make an impact, and he can play in the European games as well. You know, we don't, as an Arsenal football club, we don't want to play Saka every single game. We don't want to play Martinelli every single game. These players need a rest, and then after, when the Europe starts again, the games are going to be coming thick and fast. So I'm happy with it. You know, people will always look at Mudryk and think, "Oh, we missed out there." And yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. When he came on against Liverpool today, he looked good, but did he look good because he was playing against a 39-year-old James Milner? That's what I think. That's the acid test is when he plays against someone good, because when he came on and played against Trent, I know Trent's not a brilliant defender, but Trent's fast and he can keep up with him, and he kind of looked a little bit average after that. So, the test will be when he does play a 90 minutes and he does play against someone half decent who can defend. So, I think the jury is still out a little bit on him. But, Trossard, I don't mind him. I'm not going to claim to know everything about him like Josh does. And obviously, Josh has seen him more. But, yeah, I think someone who, in this day and age, 21 million for a player who's, who's not going to be a starter and who's going to play the European games. And, he might even play for... on Friday, he might start on Friday for Man City, against Man City, sorry.
Is he allowed to play tomorrow?
I don't... Yeah, he is. So he is. He'll probably be on the bench tomorrow. And I don't think he played in Brighton's FA Cup game, so he's allowed to play for us in the FA Cup. So, yeah, I'm happy with him. And,
he only played in the League Cup for them.
Yeah, so that's where we're at anyway, so that's fine. So, yeah, he can play in the FA Cup. So, yeah, I fully expect him to start on Friday against Man City up at the Etihad.
Yes, that would be good. Is it back-to-back games, or have we got a game, Man City, then a game, then Man City again?
No, I think there's 2 games in between the Man City game, if I'm not mistaken, which I don't think I am mistaken, because I never am.
Yes, we're also looking at another player. We tried to get Josh to do this with sort out a guest with him, but the guest didn't reply to. Well, last time I looked, the guest hasn't replied to him. If you want to know all about the young man, where is it live? There you go. If you want to know all about the other bloke we're looking at, the Polish defender, 6'2", 6'4", Jakub Kiwori, go to Tom's channel, The Gooner Talk, and it is the 4 videos back, 20,000 views, Karl. We don't get that a month. He's got that for 1 video, but you know why? Because Tom's top quality. Go and have a look at that. Tom has a guest on who knows all about him. Jakub has only just recently signed for the one of the really small teams in Serie A. He's done really well, and it looks like we might be paying, did I say, about 30 million for him?
Something like that, yeah.
Central defender, plays a lot down the left-hand side. Tom has lots of heat maps and discussion and breakdown of him, and it saves us having to do it. So it's a really good show. So yeah, go and the Gooner Talk, go and have a look, and Tom will
what
put
did
you
you
straight.
call him?
I've forgotten his name already.
Kiviar, not Kiwawi.
Don't be. Just stop signing players whose names I can't say. We've said this.
You just want people like Bob Smith and Rob
Carl
Jones.
Walker.
Yeah.
You got a name I can say. Loki says Trossard is a 9 out of 10 Lundberg. Bloody hell.
7, Danny.
What did I put?
Glasses. You
7.
said yes.
Yes. Good enough these days. He is. Rudy says, finally, we have someone who can change a game from the bench. Pink Panther says, shout out to Tom. Tom is brilliant. We like Tom, obviously. Brennick74 says, 3-1 to Arsenal, feeling confident. Oh, well, we're going to little save that, and we'll go through all the predictions later on. Boy10 says, we are allegedly going for Declan Rice. I reckon that's exclusively because the club wants to move Holding on, especially after moving for Jakub, surname not pronounceable, retains our homegrown numbers. The few times we've seen Big Bob Holding come on, he doesn't get enough games. When you get to his age, I say he's an old age, he's half my age, but when you get on a bit, you can't just come on and play games every now and then. You do, and he's never going to be good enough to get rid of Saliba, Gabriel, and then third choice centre back is going to be White. Fourth choice is probably going to be Tomiyasu. So he's never going to come any higher than fifth choice, is he? Poor old Bob.
No, and I think right now it's his prime years, and he should be kind of knocking on the door for an England spot because, you know, is he better than Harry Maguire? I'll probably say yes. Like,
does Harry even play anymore? Did he play
exactly?
Today?
No. What, Maguire?
Yeah.
Do you remember
it was a sub against Palace.
Harry Maguire. You know he plays for Man United, right?
Oh, what was I thinking? Who played Palace today?
Newcastle.
That was it. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Yes, I'd. You're getting cheeky. Ellis has joined the top of the show thing. Yes, no, I was thinking because Palace. I saw Man United against Palace, and Harry Maguire was a sub and he was warming up, and then Palace played today, and I just went. I got the two games mixed up, but I saw Man United against Palace, and they could not complete a pass. Their tackling was terrible. Their attacking was terrible, and their run of however many games it is in a row that they won or were unbeaten. It's because they're playing rubbish teams. They're playing teams right down the bottom. Now they're going to have a half decent run of games against tough teams like us, and then they're not going to do so well. I mean, if I go and look back at Man United's Premier League, I'd have to do that. Bring up the matches separately, and then Premier League. Then away, their recent run of games, they drew with Palace, they beat Wolves 1-0 away, they beat Fulham 2-1 away. This is Premier League only, Man United. They lost 3-1 at Villa, average team at best. They drew 1-1 at Chelsea. They beat Everton 2-1. Well, everybody beats Everton 2-1. They lost 6-3 at Man City, and then they beat Southampton and Leicester 1-0. And then before that, they lost 7 consecutive away games. From March at the end of last season to August at the end of last season, the beginning of this season, 7 consecutive away losses: 4-1, 1-0, 4-0, 3-1, 4-0, 1-0, 4-0, and 6-3 to Man City. That is not a decent team. So if you go back and count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16, out of the last 16 Premier League away games, they beat Southampton, Leicester, Everton, Fulham, and Wolves. That, Karl, is not a run of results that I look at and go, oh, I want me mummy. You?
No, I'm not. Listen, I think that Ten Hag has come in and he's kind of changed Man United a little bit. He's got them playing well. I can't sit here and deny that because, you can only play who's in front of you. The same way that we was beating all these teams and everyone was saying, no, you haven't played anyone decent. Well, you can only play who's in front of you. So, and any game to win in the Premier League is hard. Just ask Chelsea and Liverpool. Look where they are. So I think he's got them playing well. And I think Marcus Rashford has kind of found a rich vein of form, which is really annoying. And hopefully we don't make the same mistakes that we did at Old Trafford and try and play a high line against them because, they punished us with a counter-attack, like literally. And I think Arteta kind of learned from that game because we went chasing the game after we went 2-1 down. We made like 3 or 4 subs, like all attacking, and we just kind of forgot about defending. And that's when they got the sucker punch goal. And I think that kind of hurt us. But we are a different team now. We didn't have Thomas Partey when we played them at Old Trafford. So, we're a different animal now, especially when we're playing at home as well. We can control the game. Like, we can definitely go up there so come home and control the game. I think if you nullify someone like Bruno Fernandes, that's it, because you've got a guy in Eriksen who cannot run. Okay, anyone says he's a good passer, but he can't run. You wind Bruno Fernandes up, get me a yellow card in like the first 5-10 minutes, which he will because he's always angry. That's his game gone. They haven't got Casemiro. They haven't got their solid defensive midfielder. So you're looking at either Fred or McTominay, which, let's be very honest, if you got Fred or McTominay in your midfield, then that is it. So if we can, know that Man United are going to try and counter-attack us, they're going to come in and they're going to try and sit back and they're going to try and suck up the pressure and then hit, it's what they do, get the ball to either Eriksen or Fernandes and hit us on the counter-attack. But if we're smart enough not to always play a high line, because I think if I'm playing against Arsenal, if I know Man United, what they're going to do, they're going to push Rashford out to their right, our left. And because when Zinchenko comes in field, he almost makes up like a third midfielder and leaves that left back spot kind of unoccupied. That's what they're going to do. They're going to leave Marcus Rashford and say, when Zinchenko comes inside, you run outside. So you've got that space. So unfortunately, I think Zinchenko may just have to adjust his game very, very slightly. But, I feel confident. I feel like we are better than Manchester United. They just hit a loose vein of form, but so have we. And we are playing so well. So I don't think we should fear Man United at all. I think we can take the game to them, attack them, and get a result easily.
Going back to the game that I watched, and I agree with everything that you said there, especially the counter-attack. When going back to watching them against Crystal Palace, when they had Elise on one wing, they had Zaha on the other wing, and they had a couple of other decent players. Whenever they got on the counter-attack, Man United were lost. They struggled to do anything, let alone the final ball through to their own players. And then they're going to be playing against us, and they are not going to be able to cope with the speed and the ability that our players have got. And I like what you're saying about Zinchenko might have to adapt his game a little bit to shore up the defence when Rashford has got it. But even in that game, Rashford didn't look very good. And their main player that looked half decent in that game ended up getting booked or sent off near the end of the game. Is it Casemiro in central midfield, the one I got from Real Madrid? He was one of the few players that actually looked decent, and he's not going to be playing. And so I'm not worried at all. They are going to give absolutely nothing to Warriors, because they've shown all season that they are a very average team. The only decent thing they've done this season is get rid of Ronaldo. Other than that, they're going to really struggle against us, and we're going to ruin them after. Because so far, we've only lost one game all season, Karl. Unbelievable in the Premier League. This is when I just go and check that it is actually only one game.
It is, yes. Yep. We've lost one, drawn one, drawn two, and won the rest.
That's it, 115. That is outstanding. I mean, Newcastle, after 20 games, have also only lost one. And I'm just looking at this. Newcastle have got England's number 2 goalie, and they've conceded 11. Arsenal got number 3 goalie, conceded 14. But England's number 1 goalie has conceded 28.
And he'll still be number 1 goalkeeper. Yeah, it's just Gareth Southgate is a donut, and I'll be very surprised if Frank Lampard. I hope they don't fire Frank Lampard before we play Everton.
No, that'd be good. They'll go there and smash them. Because there is somebody this season, Karl, is going to get an absolute whooping in the Premier League. We are going to do. Remember the days we used to get 7 against Middlesbrough or 7 against Everton? This day is coming, people. Some game this season, we are going to score 6 or 7 against someone. When that clicks and all of our passing and attacking and all that turns up and works, someone is going to, maybe even 8, maybe even 9. That's how good we are on our day, on most days. And our day is actually most days. I
still think
lovely.
We have to be a little bit wary of Manchester United just because it's Manchester United, and somehow when the back's against the wall, they'd always find a result. Do you remember when Rashford came onto the scene, and I think it was his first or second Premier League game with Mourinho, and he got 2 against us, a team when they were injury depleted, they had kind of no one, and somehow they beat us up at their ground, and a game that we easily should have won, and we didn't for some unknown reason. So I'm always wary of what Manchester United can do to us and just the history. But I think we are a different animal now. I think we're a different team. I think, back in the day where, reputations used to mean something against these clubs, I think the players now don't care. They don't respect Manchester United, which is a good thing, because they're not wary of, what happened in the past or things like that. So I'm happy to say that I don't think we should fear Man United, but in the back of your mind, because it's them, and if they do literally just sit back for the whole game, which I think they do, I think they have no intention of trying to attack us, and then they will just literally try and hit us on the break. One long ball up, cut out the midfields, and somehow they'll get through. And that's my fear. And also my fear is if they go ahead first, if they get a first goal, I think that's it. They're literally just going to sit back and do nothing because they're not trying to attack us. They don't want to go toe-to-toe with us, because I think if they do, or if they did try that, we would outplay them. Like any team that tries to, go toe-to-toe with us and outplay us, they can't. That's why a majority of the teams literally just sit back. So I think if we do win tomorrow, it will be a big, massive statement. And I'm still not here saying that we're going to win the league. Even yesterday, I was asked a question and I said top 4 is the priority. If we get top 4, remember the main goal at the start of the season was to finish top 4. And I don't think that's changed. I really don't think that's changed. If we overachieve by doing something else, then that's brilliant. I think it's long may it continue, but I think top 4 is a priority, and then once you start getting to the business end of the season, late March, April, and if we're still in the same position, then I'll start talking about winning the Premier League.
Tomorrow, the big thing for me is going to be who's going to replace Casemiro. It's either going to be Fred or it's going to be McTominay. And if that's McTominay, he's just going to spend the entire game kicking and fouling and cheating. And it's how soon the referee decides to if decides if he's going to do anything about rotational fouling, and then decides how many of the rotational fouls it's going to be before he does something about it.
I think he's going to leave it late. I think McTominay plays tomorrow, and his job will be break up play. Just break up play, keep fouling until you get that yellow card. Yep. And I think once he gets a yellow card, that's when he'll change his game. But that's what will happen. You'll see him, he'll foul Partey, he'll foul Odegaard, he'll foul Saka, and he'll keep on doing it. And it won't be till like the 70th minute after the 6th foul until the referee decides to do something. Because, as you know, referees, they don't have to foul players who foul Arsenal players so they don't have to book players who foul Arsenal players because it's just something they don't do.
Rudy makes a good point here as usual, Rudy. I am optimistic as well, he says. United won their last few games against teams we expected them to beat, apart from Man City. They won the Man City game due to cheating, which is, I don't know what was funnier, that goal being not disallowed for offside or that bloke having the sex noises in the Match of the Day studio. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I did see it.
Do you know how he did it?
No.
He was the bloke who got on the pitch before and was in the lineups and then did the thing where he got on with the cricket people, and he keeps getting into events and doing like that. He just dressed as a normal person. He went in there and he had a mobile phone and he played it over the speaker of a mobile phone. So he stellotaped the mobile phone to underneath or the back of one of the chairs, apparently, and then wait till the show started and then started playing sex noises over the phone. And they didn't know what was going on. Hilarious. So Stefan says, Man United always raise their game against us. Yes, they do. But sooner or later, the FA have got to realise they need to look after the likes of Saka because he is the future of England. There is no better player at his age playing for England in the world at the moment, and maybe not for the last God knows how many years. He is everything that any club would want, any national team would want, and he is not getting the protection he deserves from the referees, which is disgusting.
They'd only look after him if he leaves Arsenal and plays for a different club, and then they'll realise, oh, by the way, we need to look after him. But at the end of the day, he's not going to get the protection that he deserves, because it's funny how in the World Cup everyone started saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe the referees are not booking players for fouling Saka," and Arsenal fans are like, "This is welcome to our world. We've had this for years." So do you know what? Like you said, tomorrow there's going to be rotational fouling. It's 100% certain until McTominay does get that yellow card, and hopefully, the referee is going to let things go, because that's what they always do when they start fouling Arsenal. It's the referee's letting things go, and then when it gets too bad, and I think Arsenal do need to go up to the referee and say, like, how many times can you foul someone without getting a yellow card?
Maybe the crowd need to just start going, 1 or 2. If we just start counting the number of times that Saka gets fouled during the game.
It's true. And another thing that's going to annoy me tomorrow, which I have a really big problem with this. So it's going to be Arsenal versus Manchester United tomorrow, and Gary Neville's going to be on commentary. I don't think that should be allowed, because he's going to be so biased. Like,
unreal.
If you're going to have that, you should have him and Alan Smith. So you've got 2. So I really, really, I'm glad that I'm not going to be watching it on TV, because flipping out, I would flip out. But I think that's really out of order that you have like Gary Neville on commentary on a Man United game, because it's just going to be very, very, very biased. One, you have to hear Gary Neville, and no one wants to hear Gary Neville talk at all. And I think it's going to be great. If Arsenal win tomorrow, I want to hear how salty Gary Neville is, because he's just going to literally be in his tears, and I can't wait. So
Bring me the tears of Gary Neville.
Oh, fucking bring me his head. Like, that's what I want. But yeah, I'm going to be very happy to hear how. I said to one of my friends, because obviously growing up in my era, all my friends are either Manchester United or Arsenal fans, because no other team existed apart from these two when I was in school and growing up. So I said to all my friends tomorrow, I'm going to be the worst version of myself tomorrow if Arsenal win. I'm going to be horrible. Twitter are going to see like
They'll
the
be dancing.
worst. Twitter are going to see the worst version of me tomorrow. Like, to all my Man United supporting friends, it's going to be a problem. Like, and I hope we do win, because this will be a real statement, especially going into sort of the fact that we've got to play Man City twice. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm not as nervous as I used to be. Like, if you had told me back in the day, we've got Tottenham and Man United consecutive games, I would have been like, oh shit, like we'll be lucky to get 1 point from both of those games. Now I'm looking for 6 points. I'm looking for 6 points from both of those games. So I'm hoping that we can go there, make a statement, and I think if we do beat Man United at home, I think the league will then start taking us seriously and start thinking, oh my God, like they actually really, I know we say it, but we don't believe it. But now Arsenal are really title contenders.
They are indeed. Arsenio Wonga, hello, sir, says, I don't think we will see any teams beat 6-0 anymore. We are good, but nowhere near what we used to be under Wenger. Arsene was a magician to get us to play football from another world. I think the football we're playing at the moment is incredibly similar, because Arteta was a big part of that in the failure years and then in the FA Cup winning years. And I do see so many similarities between what Arteta does and the style of football that he plays and what Wenger did. Do you?
I think we want to play free-flowing football, because that's the Arsenal way. Attacking, free-flowing football, and hopefully and entertain as well, because football is about entertainment, isn't it? And we need to do that. But I think at the moment, Arsenal are just playing really good football. Everyone fighting for each other. Everyone like filling in the gaps, attacking football, which is brilliant. If we play boring football like Newcastle, now or Tottenham. Have you seen that this football that they play is absolutely atrocious, considering they've got arguably the best striker in the world.
Yeah.
You'd think to yourself that what you want to do is get the ball up to him as fast as possible, but they don't do that. So yeah, if we play football like Spurs or Newcastle or anything like that, it'd be really hard to watch. It's kind of like the Emre days.
Yeah,
that was really hard to watch. It was like the football, our results were bad, and the football was really boring and just horrible. And I never want to go back to those days.
True. It's like I said to the Villa fan when I was on their podcast, I said Emery will save you from relegation, but other than that, he will bore the pants off you and he won't get you into Europe. He went, I think he might get us into Europe. I said, not a chance. Not a chance. Some more. Oh, there's a new name there. I think Brennick K74. I think you might have been in the last show. I agree. Said the same thing about Smith and Neville together. There'd be elbows there. Avon, to be honest, I'm surprised they can get Gary Neville in and out the ground safely. Change channel. Yeah, because there'll be plenty of other ones. If you've got IPTV, you can go and listen to where in the world that you want. Let's have a look at, just going to do that. Some of the previous results, Karl. If you look in the history of this fixture, that's 187 plus 50 is 237 games. We've won 86. They've won 101. We've drawn 50. We go back and look at the last 3 games between us in the Premier League at Arsenal. The last one was the 23rd of April, 22. We beat them 3-2. We scored first with Nuno Tavares. And then Bukayo's got a penalty on 32. Ronaldo, 34 for them. And then Granit Xhaka in the 70th minute. Don't remember that. They had Ralph Rangnick as their manager then. Remember the one who's going to come in and steady the ship?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. And then the game before that was the 30th of January, 21, 0-0. Solskjaer was their manager then. And the game before that was 2-0. Ollie was their manager. Pepe in the 8th minute. Socrates Pastapopoulos in the 43rd minute. The Arsenal lineup that day, this is only just over 3 years ago. 3 years and 3 weeks. Leno in goal, gone. Socrates and David Luiz at the back, gone. Kolasinac left back, gone. Maitland-Niles probably right back, as good as gone. Xhaka and Treya in central midfield, still here and brilliant, and one's gone. Ozil in the hole with Pepe and Aubameyang on the wings and Lacazette up front. So out of that starting 11, there's only 2 are out on loan and 1 is still at the club. Wow.
We suffered. I saw a lineup the other day from the Emre days where I think the back line was Bellerin, Mustafi, Socrates, and Kolasinac. And I was like, we really suffered then. Like, we was in the mud. Like, how did we survive that? Like, it was just...
We didn't survive it. It was a
No,
nightmare.
we didn't. It was just horrible. But yeah, we've got a team now which is, we're playing well. And I think in another 2 years, I think the lineup won't be as drastically changed as it is now. Like in 2025, could I realistically see the same backline that we're going to see tomorrow? Yeah, probably. Like I genuinely could. So let's just hope that, this team as it is at the moment and how well we're playing, that we can kind of stick together and, because this team is young and they're literally going to grow together, and that's what we want. And if we can get someone else in, like, just to kind of help this team grow, like Leandro Trossard, I'm sure, as good as he is, he will help like the likes of Martinelli, and he will help the likes of Saka. Because though as good as they both are, experience, you can't count for experience. So he can come in and say, sometimes don't do this or sometimes do that, or just the way he trains as well, because he's going to have to obviously train differently. Arsenal, I'm sure Arsenal and Brighton training sessions are totally different, and he's going to have to get used to our way of training. But the fact that he can play anywhere across the front line, I think, is absolutely brilliant. And I don't know if some people are, but I'm really happy with the signing.
I am as well. I think he's going to be good. A new name there that I've not seen before. Karl Rodell says, or Roddle, love the fact that we have a transfer plan, not just waiting to see who's available. Told you the whole time, I really don't think we were after Mudryk. I think that was too much money for a young man. And it was, they're waving their left hand at people while really doing the magic with their right hand. And, under the table, no one can see what's going on. Phil, so here we go. This might be Phil's one serious point of a show. He says, not sure what Arsenio is on about. We are finally moving in the right direction after 10 years of repeating our mistakes. Win a title or not, I couldn't be happier about all things Arsenal. Very true, Phil. Very true. Mr. Boblex, Karl, I'll see you tomorrow evening. Are you meeting up with him?
Yes, I am. I've got to talk to Femi. That man is so rich. Like, I can't deal with him. I haven't spoken to him, to be honest. I need to talk to Femi to see where
Magic Mike should be at the game too.
Oh, I'm sure I'll just see the harem of people around him, then just follow.
Then Boblik says, what's your favourite shot or drink? Lucozade.
Your favourite shot? I don't think he's talking about a soft drink, Danny.
I know he's not. But in fact, I had a bottle of cider yesterday. It was Bakewell tart flavour.
Bakewell tart.
Brothers Bakewell tart. Very nice. I had it with my pizza with Anna last night. Here we go. Arsenio says, Karl in capital letters, you are absolutely right. Oh, God, here we go. Right, that we are playing good football, no doubt, but in comparison to the football we played under Wenger and slapped the big boys week in, week out was unseen at the time, bro. There you go. Lovely. Boblex, I saw that lineup. Wasn't great. Wasn't that against Villarreal or Atletico Madrid? Steph says, I'm far more tactical. It's far more tactical game now. Good. Oh, Glenn. I've been badgering Glenn for months. Hello, Treacle. Missed you. I think I have sports PTSD with you guys talking about those old lineups.
Oh, it wasn't a good time. It wasn't at all. It was horrible. We suffered.
Stefan says, when's Glenn coming on the pod? Glenn's had a social media detox. He's back at the moment, so not going to badger him too much, but hopefully he'll come back on. So we've been WhatsApping this week just to make sure that he was all right, because it is a little bit over the top at times. I'll be meeting him as well. Karl says, Mr. Boblex. Phil says, love an unseen Arsenal mug of Malbec. I don't know what that is.
Said wine, Danny.
Okay, fair enough. Demsek, Soph will be at the game. Shock horror, I will be at the game. Demsek is going to a game. Dear, oh dear. And Mr. Boblex says, also there's a report that we've made a bid for Martin someone, but it's been turned down as he doesn't want to leave mid-season. Martin somebody. Sai has been swearing. He's tried to get around it. He put, where is it? It disappeared as soon as I allowed it. You need to get around the swear filter, people. There's only one way around it. Where is that person's name? Why hasn't it come up on there? Then I can highlight it and go and find out who he plays for. Oh, Sai says, why the feck isn't Klopp talking about Arsenal? The guy sometimes can be plain stupid. He got around the swear filter. Maybe it's the word stupid he didn't like. I can't find this bloke that you mentioned in the thing there. Echo, who is Martin Zubidimendi? Spock. Birth date 1st of January 2230. Echo, shut up, you. Echo doesn't even listen to me anymore.
No,
I'm back anytime, my friend. Lovely.
So my question to you, Danny, is who do you think is going to score tomorrow, and what's going to be the score?
Score 3-1, and the person who is going to score, I think, opening goal is Martinelli is due a goal, which is important. So going to see how it's going to start out. Someone mentioned earlier in the chat that we need to put an opener, just I'll let you know you're there, on McTominay right away. So get that done, get him out of the way. First goal, it's going to be a counter-attack goal, either Saka or Martinelli. I'm going to go Martinelli, break his duck. He hasn't scored in a while. And then maybe Saka will get one, and then they'll get a penalty at some point, and then we'll see it out at the end of the game with Eddie with a goal from 3 inches. How about you?
I think we'll win 3-1. Sadly, I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think it'll be 3-1, and I'm going for Saka. I'm going for Eddie and Odegaard, as he's on the rich reign of form at the moment. So that's what I want, and I think they will inevitably get a penalty just because they're Man United. I'm so shocked. It's only the fact that Spurs didn't get into their own box why they didn't get a penalty, because I'm very sure that
was it 19-1 at half time in touches in the boxes?
Yeah, so I'm sure if they got into the box, they would have. Well, they did try to get a penalty, didn't they, right at the end? But obviously, the referee, I don't know what. I still don't know what happened, because he definitely pointed to the spot 100%, and then kind of blew the whistle for half time. So I don't know what happens, but do you know what? I'll just be happy with a positive result, and a positive result is a win. A draw for me is not a positive result, and hopefully we can beat Man United, because they're there for the beating. When we played them earlier on in the season and we lost, we were a better team.
Yep.
And we had the goal, we scored a goal that was incorrectly ruled out, and the Premier League came to us and said that it was incorrectly ruled out, and we were much, much better than them. So I think we just got to show how good we are. I mean, Man United are a different team to what they were then, but there's no reason why we can't beat them. With the crowd behind us, and we are going to be loud tomorrow. That is going to be really, really loud. I have no doubt that we can definitely beat them and take the game to them and just knock them off their perch a little bit, and especially their fans as well, because their fans are, thinking that they're a bit too good and they're not. So if we can do that, I'll be very, very happy.
I agree. People put your predictions in the chat and I shall read them out. We've got 5 so far. Me and Karl are both going 3-1. Benny is saying 3-1, feeling confident. Bob Lex 4-2, Martinelli to score first. Rudy Rastos 2-1, Saka and Partey are goal scorers. Phil Macker says 2-0 to Rowe, Saka and Eddie, and hopefully a broken leg for the Portuguese Mona, who his teammate called him a puerto, which I think is a bitch. Do you see that? It was a slow motion of it was a replay of when they were shouting at him, and they called it his teammates called him a bitch for moaning about something. Stefan says 3. Huh?
He is a bitch.
He is. Stefan says 3-0. Ramsdale masterclass. Anyone else put any in there? Michael has put 2-0. Glenn has put, I believe, 3-1 to the Arsenal. First goal is huge, but we have a backbone this season. Demsek has gone 3-0. Boblix, it's Buta. There you go. To see if the unsurprisingly, we got demonetized for our last podcast because we were doing nothing but swearing at Spurs for the whole thing. So that's £1.65 we lost out on. So I think we'll go bankrupt because of that. Rudy says United be without Dalot, Martial, and Sancho. Carl?
Your pronunciations, Danny, are absolutely atrocious.
Which one have I got wrong?
Well, say those names again.
Dalot?
No,
Martial,
you don't pronounce the T.
Sancho. Huh?
You don't pronounce the T. It's Dalot.
Well, why put it in there then? Just the amount of ink he's wasting in his life.
It's like the G in lasagna, Danny. You don't pronounce the G, do you?
I call pigeons pigeons. It's their own bloody fault. Arsenio Wonga's going big, going 5-0. Sai's going 3-0 to United. Sai is actually an Arsenal fan, but he's in his padded cell at the moment and he's typing with his feet. Arsenio 5-0 sod it. It's nice to dream. And Demsek is agreeing. Anything else we want to cover, Karl, before we leave these fine boys and girls, mums and dads, cats and dogs to go and do whatever they want to do?
No, I'm positive that we'll get a result. I think everyone for the whole day is going to be stressing. Danny will be sleeping. I'll probably wake up about 3 o'clock. Danny, I'm going to say you're going to have to set your alarm. The game keeps up at 4:30, I want to say.
I might get up a little bit earlier because we've got a bloke bringing a car for my mum to look at. She's her car's died. Whenever it's freezing cold, the gearbox doesn't change gear. Her little Mitsubishi Colt. So there's a bloke from Stamford bringing down a Hyundai i10. They're going to bring it down because she's so diddy, Karl. She's 4'9", and even with a cushion, some dashboards, the binnacle is like that, a little bit where all the dials are. It's quite little curved. She really loved the Fiat 500. She couldn't see over the dashboard. That's how small she is. And so there's no more Colts available of that version that she's got. And so it's the i10 bringing it down on Monday afternoon. So I'm going to have to get out of bloody bed and go outside and have a look at it. Give it a kick.
Kick the tyres. That always works. That to see if the car's good.
Yes, it is. So I can't believe the amount of that car is a 2011 and it's $5,500. I doubt it was that much when it was new, but small automatic cars with low mileage, full service history, go for big money now.
Just like me, Danny, with my fees. I don't know if anyone knew, but I'm now different. I'm in high demand. Every sports outlet wants me, and I'm not too sure if I'm. Bergkamp Wonderland have made a very good contract offer. They've had to fire 2 of their staff, to pay my wages. My wages now doubled from £1 to £3. And a huge signing on fee, which is a Nature Valley Crunchy Bar. I
broke a tooth on one of them once. There was a metal bit in it. The bearing looked like the nib from the end of a ballpoint pen.
Did you sue them and get money?
I was going to, but then I thought, they have enough trouble. Have I still got it? It was sellotaped to something. Right, it was sellotaped to that thing there. I've still got my gallstone and my kidney stones sellotaped to my bedroom chest of drawers.
I mean,
they were
can
big.
Can we raffle them off to get some money to pay my new wages?
Well, might need to. Got some more predictions. George Judson, a new name. Hello, George. Thanks for joining us. Says 3-1 the Arsenal as always. And Travis Saw, sounds like a dinosaur, says 10-0. You look like mankind. I'm liking that. So is this a tsunami or tsunami? Boy 10 says Eddie a 3-0 Nketiah hat-trick. Joshua Page 8-2 to the Arsenal. See what you're going there. Rudy says early goal would be nice. Dempsey with a question. Is Pep really worried about Arteta and Arsenal? Yes.
I still say that for some reason Manchester City will go on a 10 to 12 game unbeaten run, because when they want to turn it on, they can. They just showed against, I know it was against Spurs, but if they want to score 4 goals in one half, they can.
Guna Rob, 81, another name I've not seen before. Hello, Rob. Thanks for joining us. If you like the show, give it a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe, write it on a piece of paper and stick it in the food of everybody you know. And then they'll choke on our website address. That's not going to work, is it, if they'll die? Don't do that. It says 2-0, Eddie and Saka. Glenn says, I think Pep is just showing respect to Arsenal. He could split his squad in 2 teams and both would finish top 10. Yeah, that is sadly very, very true. Any more predictions?
Got 1-1.
Brady says going to batter them 1-0 and lots of numbers. 1-1, Saka for us. We can't afford to lose tomorrow. We won't. Guna Rob has just subscribed. Thank you very much, Guna Rob. And so you get we've got a little thing here that we do. Going to go and pump the volume up, and it is put it there, and then
splendid business, splendid business, splendid business.
There you go. That's our Steve. Sadly no longer with us, but immortalised with the words of splendid business. I'm going to put some more of those in there one day when I figure out how to do them. Right, Karl, I think that's it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I don't know who's doing our show tomorrow after the game, because Danny, as normal, was put it in the group and everyone said they can't do it, so he's done a Alan Sugar and fired us all.
Stevie. Deaky's going to join us. I'm reading his WhatsApp. He says, yep, he can make it. Stan says he's doing his on Sunday. And James just said, sorry, he's got Bear. Ellis, no. John's busy knobbing. Josh doesn't even give a reason anymore. Chris doesn't reply anymore. It's just pointless, really, isn't it? And you and Femi are at the game.
You should have said it's about French football, and you might have replied.
We'd be here now. All we have to do is mention, I don't know, Lacazette. He turns up like a genie, like you've rubbed a hippie lamp. Excellent.
Oh, God. Right. Everyone, thank you very much for listening to our prediction show. I think we're all predicting an Arsenal win. I have no doubt that it will come true. And if we don't win, there's going to be an inevitable meltdown on Twitter. And I, for one, can't wait to see it.
Wise words, Karl. I can see why you get the big money now. So we will be back tomorrow sometime after the game. Maybe 10 minutes, something like that. And thank you very much. If you like the show, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, we've been a Gooners podcast. Go and give them a thumbs down. And maybe even consider subscribing. I looked, in the last 2 years, we've had 200 subscribers in 2 years. Got 6,000 in the first few years. People just don't bother anymore, and I can't say I blame them, Karl. Right, we're going to get rid of this. Everyone's just been really nice to us. Oh, and Pink Panther's on your side there, Karl. Fuck Ellis.
100%. Hashtag fuck Ellis.
Is indeed. Oh, people are putting lots of comments in there, trying to highlight them all. Fake Piers Morgan there. Lovely jubbly. Simeone. Don't care. And we'll end it with that, Mr. Bobless. Hashtag fuck Ellis. Right. Here is the end of the show. We will have Steve and Dave having a chit chat. Goodbye. Say goodbye, Karl.
Goodbye, Karl.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid.
Get down, dog.
Splendid business.
He nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I was just eating a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at it. So when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately, and get the brown sauce on and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never